Good morning, children. Children, today we'll continue with our topic identification of gases. We are left with three gases more, that is chlorine, nitrogen dioxide, and ammonia. Now, today we are going to do all these three gases. So, the first gas is chlorine. So, let's see a reaction in which chlorine is produced. Let us take manganese dioxide and react it with concentrated HCl 4 molecules. It will result in formation of MnCl2 plus 2H2O plus this gas chlorine. If you observe this gas chlorine, it will be greenish yellow in color and it has a pungent choking odor. This is how you can, if you observe these things, you can say that the gas can be chlorine. Now then you can also perform a litmus test. If you bring a moist blue litmus paper in contact with chlorine, it first turns red and then finally it gets decolorized due to bleaching action of chlorine. So litmus paper from blue to red and then decolorizes because of the bleaching action. Then next test which you can perform to confirm whether the gas is chlorine or not is a test with starch iodide paper. A starch iodide paper, that is a paper dipped in potassium iodide plus a starch solution. If you bring such a paper, starch iodide paper, in contact with chlorine, it will turn blue-black. So, what is the reaction which is going to take place? Let's see. Chlorine will first react with potassium iodide to give 2KCl and iodine I2. When this iodine comes in contact with starch solution, and it will turn starch blue-black. So this is the confirmatory test by which you can say that the gas released is chlorine. Now the next gas which we are going to see is nitrogen dioxide, that is NO2 gas. So NO2, nitrogen dioxide, if you take some nitrate, metallic nitrate like lead nitrate, PbNO3 whole twice, and you take 2 molecules of it and heat it strongly, it will result in formation of lead oxide plus 4 molecules of nitrogen oxide, and along with that oxygen gas is produced. This gas, nitrogen dioxide, is a reddish brown gas. So you can see a reddish brown, the reddish brown vapors coming out from the test tube in which you have heated lead nitrate. Again, if you bring moist blue litmus paper in contact with nitrogen dioxide, it will turn red. That means the gas is acidic in nature. This gas, if you bring it in contact with potassium iodide plus nitrogen dioxide. Potassium iodide and nitrogen dioxide, they react to form 2KNO2 and iodine. So you will see violet color vapors of iodine being released, or you can say that if you bring potassium iodide paper in contact with nitrogen dioxide paper, the color of the paper will turn brown in color. Another test which you can perform is if you pass nitrogen dioxide with acidified ferrous sulfate, then acidified ferrous sulfate will also turn brown. So this is one test which you can by which you can confirm that the gas released is nitrogen dioxide or not. Now the last gas for today is ammonia gas. Ammonia gas is different from other gases which we have studied till now in a way that ammonia is a basic gas. So let's see this last gas ammonia, that is NH3. In lab, ammonia can be prepared by using ammonium chloride and calcium hydroxide. Ammonium chloride and calcium hydroxide react to form calcium chloride plus water plus this gas ammonia. 2NH4Cl will give you CaCl2 plus 2H2O plus 2NH3. This gas ammonia is again colorless, but it has a pungent smell. This is a pungent smelling gas. This gas, if you bring moist red litmus paper in contact with this gas, moist red litmus paper turns blue because this gas is basic in nature. Now, if you bring a glass rod dipped in HCl, take a glass rod, dip it in HCl and bring it in contact with the ammonia vapors which are coming out of the test tube in which you have done the reaction, what will happen? Ammonia will react with HCl and will form ammonium chloride, which will be seen as dense white fumes of ammonium chloride. If you take Nessler's reagent, Nessler's reagent is K2HgI4, that is potassium mercuric iodide. Then this Nessler's reagent is actually colorless. When you pass ammonia through it, on passing ammonia through it, it turns brown in color, from colorless to brown. So this is one test for ammonia. The last test for ammonia is if you take copper sulfate solution and you pass ammonia through copper sulfate solution, you will get a pale blue PPT. And this pale blue PPT, which is formed in little amount of ammonia when you pass little amount of ammonia. But when you pass excess of ammonia, what happens? On passing excess of ammonia, pale blue PPT becomes soluble on passing ammonia in excess, and after becoming soluble, what do you observe? A deep blue solution is formed. That means first you take copper sulfate solution in a test tube and you pass small amount of ammonia, then you will observe pale blue PPT. Now you pass this through that test tube only, you pass excess of ammonia, the pale blue PPT will become soluble and you will finally observe a deep blue solution because the pale blue PPT becomes soluble. So these are certain tests which you can perform to confirm the gases chlorine, ammonia and nitrogen dioxide. With this we finish our topic identification of gases. Now in next class we will be studying about certain reactions of some acids in our practical chemistry, and with that we will be finishing our practical chemistry chapter. So one more class we will discuss this topic practical chemistry, one more small subtopic is left, we will do that in next class. Thank you, children.